Hey everyone, I want to give you guys a heads up on some great pricing on these clear Lancer magazines, okay? For a couple of years now, I've been buying these from Botach. It's Botach.com, and I always get the best pricing on these Lancer magazines. Now, they don't pay me. They have no idea who I am. In fact, before I even buy, I usually do like a search, try and see if there's anything better. I always get the best pricing on these Lancer magazines. I used to pay like $13 for these. First of all, I used to see these, like, it was common for these things to be like $20 per magazine, right? These AR magazines. So $17 used to be the sale that other websites would run. And I used to get these for like $13 from Botach. Right now I'm seeing them for $11, right, for these clear magazines. I don't know if they're doing like a holiday, special holiday pricing, because it's December 2023, so it's the holiday season, so I don't know if it's holiday pricing or if the price has just steadily come down. I was just shopping around. I saw the price and I'm like, okay, I gotta blast this. I gotta let people know. Now, I like the clear ones, because I want to be able to look in here and see what I got. Even with the steel case, right? I can see what's in there, right? So if you got brass, it's easier to see. With the steel case, you definitely need the clear ones. They do have the smoked ones as well. I have a few of these. I do find that with the steel case, the smoked ones are a little bit more, a little bit more difficult to see what's in there. I mean, I can see it. It's just got, I gotta look a little bit more closely now. And I've done a number of reviews on these clear Lancer magazines. Over time, they do get dirtier. Okay, they do get dirtier. So what happens is when you get the clear ones, right? What happens is over time, if you look on the front over here, right, you see how you got like powder residue, right, and burns on the front. Right, so as these get dirtier, these get harder to see, right? So you see how, yeah, I can kind of see it, but if you look through the front, because they're hybrids, right? You can't like see all the way to the top. So usually, if I want to count how many rounds I have in there, I have to turn it to the side like this, and that's like an area that gets dirty. So that's why I go with the clear ones, not the smoked ones, because these do get dirty as you use them more and more. Here, I'll show you all three of them. I mean, I don't know how many rounds I have put through these. They've probably got a couple of thousand rounds. I mean, I just got lots of them, and I've had these now for a couple of years. So, especially if you're dropping these in dirt and mud, these are going to get dirty. So, I recommend the clear ones. Sometimes people say, hey, they don't like to use clear ones because they don't want the person that they're fighting to know how many rounds they got in the magazine, okay? So if you're fighting somebody, you shouldn't be giving them enough time to see how many rounds are left in your magazine, okay? So if you're that close against a hostile, you should, they shouldn't have that option. And plus, you also have your backup gun, your pistol, okay? So for me, this is just not an issue. I think it's more important that I know really fast at a quick glance how many, or the quickest glance possible, how many rounds I have in the magazine. Down here where it tends to get less dirty, I can tell more clearly how much I got down here. So it's more important for me to know what's in here, right? Versus, let's say, somebody that's across a room. It's not that easy. Okay. Now, before I was using these, I was using PMags. Okay. Now these are some of the first PMags that I had used. Now I was buying PMags when these things were like $20, right? That's how far back this goes. Now these ones over here, the reason why they got this this whitish cream color, right, is because I was able to get these on sale, and I got these like at a great price. So I think I was able to get these somewhere for like $11 or $12 a mag, going back a few years now. When the standard price was like $14 or $15 at that time. Even $17 you would see them. So I was able to get these clear ones at a good price, and I've done really high round counts on these. They both work. I have numerous AR-15s. I have run both of these magazines through lots of different ARs. I've never had a problem, like never had a problem, period, okay? Even with palmettos, with radical, with, you know, I've used this in other people's ARs. Never had a problem with these. I have heard of people say that they've had problems with one or the other. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. You know, with all the shooting I do, and you can see, you know, right now there's snow on the ground, but you know, you guys know from my videos how much brass I stand on top of. I don't have a problem with these magazines. They work really good, really convenient. The ones I've had a problem with are the steel ones, okay? Now, and this is the better steel one. The aluminum ones, right? I had these two like Vietnam era aluminum ones that came with my Colt, right? My Colt M4, like going back like whatever 15 years ago. I think like I had that AR with those magazines, and initially I was just using it with those two 20-round magazines that came with it. Within a couple of months, like just a couple of hundred rounds, and I was starting to have problems on the Colt. And the problem was the magazines, right? Because what happens is the feed lips get bent. Even if you don't drop them, they over time these aluminum ones, they deform, and you start getting misfeeds. They don't pick up the rounds. They nose up, they nose down. So if you go back years, right, people would say that AR-15s were unreliable compared to like AK-47s. It was never a problem with the gun. Okay, the reliability problem was the magazine. Okay, so when PMag came along and gave us, you know, Magco came along and gave us the PMags, that stepped up the AR-15 to a whole new level. Okay, AR-15 became an extremely reliable gun because of the PMags. Okay, so the PMags hold a special place in history for the AR-15. And then when the Lancers came out, I mean, wow, these things are like magic. Okay, you could see, I could see what was in it. I mean, I had tried a couple of the window PMags, but at the time I started testing out the window PMags, at the same time I was playing with the clear Lancers. I'm like, why would I want to look through a little slit over here? Why not get the entire thing clear? Okay. These ones over here, these are supposed to be some of the better ones, and they were doing good for a while, and then at some point, you know, they got, you know, they stopped. They started having feeding problems, and they got, and I looked closely at it, and they were just like a really slight bent in the feed lips. And then of course with the metal ones, you pull out the needle nose pliers and you try to bend it back, and now you have a magazine that works like 99% of the time. Okay, so that's how your AR becomes unreliable. You know, with these metal feed lips that get slightly bent. Maybe you bend them or bend them back, or maybe you don't even notice them. That's what makes AR-15s unreliable. The great thing about the PMags is they're either broken or they're not broken. Okay, there's no in between. Okay, if this thing breaks, it's going to be cracked. It's just not usable. One thing you gotta be careful with the PMags is if you store these full in your trunk during the summer. And you know what happens is the springs pushing up. If you put them in your trunk where it's really hot, the magazine can start to deform, and then the lips up here start to open up. And that's why when you buy the PMags, they give you the cover that goes on top of this, right? So that cover pushes down on the ammunition, so that it's not pushing up against the feed lips. And in certain situations, like in the hot trunk of a car, they don't start deforming and opening up. The Lancer ones, these things are like, they're metal, but they're like heat treated, tempered. I mean, I've never had a problem with these things bending out of shape. Okay? I just never experienced it. I mean, if I started having the problem, I would stop buying them. But I've never had a problem with the thousands and thousands of rounds that I shoot. These things are really, really reliable. One thing I should say is for my AR-10, okay, I bought a PMag because it just happened to be the first thing that came in. So I was working with this for a while because the AR-10 platform is new to me. And then I got this, the Lancer for the AR-10, okay? Now, so far, I mean, I'm still working with this, so I don't have a full opinion yet formed on the clear Lancer ones. With the AR-15 Lancers, there's a clear distinction here in the curve. So you know which way is forward and which way is back. I don't know why they made the AR-10 Lancers straight, because it's really hard to know unless like you really look at it if it's supposed to go in like this or like this, right? Like with this, like you can see this from a distance. You know which way is forward and which way is back. With this one, because it's straight, you don't know from a distance which is the forward and which is the back. Now, it doesn't have to be like this because the PMag for the AR-10 has a slight curve in it. So I don't know why Lancer made their AR-10 magazines straight when they could have made it curved. And it's kind of almost like a weird thing to me. It's like I would think that the magazine has to either be straight or has to be curved depending on the shape of the ammunition. I didn't think that you could go either way, right? Because like all AR-15 magazines are curved. So I don't know why Lancer AR-10 magazine is straight. I mean, I just don't know the answer to that. I'm not going to recommend the AR-10 Lancer. I'm likely not going to recommend the AR-10 Lancer until the price comes down, because I can get these. I ordered a bunch of these for like $17, $18. These are like $35. Like the best price I could get was something like $35 for this. In most places are selling the Lancer AR-10 magazines for like $45 to $50. Okay, so assuming that you're getting the best price that I was able to find by, I think I got it. I forgot where I got it from. But I was shopping around. I did find the best price at about $35. But I'm like, wait a second, why am I paying $35 for this when I can basically get two of these for every one of these? So the price difference here is just too much, okay? With the AR-10 magazines, I think I'm better off getting twice as many of these versus these. And for the 20 round, the 20 rounders they don't have the clear window. For the 25 rounders, I was able to get them with the window. Okay, so and it was still like $17, like maybe $18 or $19. So $18, $19 with the clear window for my AR-10 versus $35. That's the price I could get. The economics aren't there. That's not feasible. Okay, that doesn't make. But for the AR-15. Definitely recommend these Lancers, right? These things are awesome. Been using them now for several years. Like, I forget how many, like 4 or 5 videos. You have to go back and look at my, just search my channel name and Lancer, and go back and find the earliest videos that you can on Lancer. I've done a couple of videos on Lancer, and that'll tell you how many years I've been using these. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I don't get paid by Lancer or PMag or anybody else. I'm just passing along a good deal that I saw. Okay, talk to y'all soon, and check your subscription because YouTube's been unsubscribing people.